Welcome to day 5 of building a content creation and social media agency from zero to $10,000 a month. This was day 5 and it's a Sunday, so it's all about resetting, prepping for the week, and making sure that I am spending time with the people that matter the most, my family. So we're currently on $4,000 a month. Our goal is $10,000. We've got 4 clients that are already booked and super keen to work with us, and unfortunately no leads today. For the challenge, I only have 30 minutes to do these pieces of content, so minimal editing, and the heart behind it is that I should document every step towards that $10,000 goal, and then weekends are for learning and resetting, because I am anti-hustle culture, making sure that I'm spending time in the right places and spending my time effectively when I'm building up my business. So today's story was really reminded me about focusing on family, because the reality is if you sacrifice time away from family and friends, it's going to cost you a lot in the future. And if you spend quite a bit of time with them, it's going to help you to really reset and be present when the week starts. The reality is, unfortunately, we only have so much matches to burn with productivity, and the reality is the only way you get matches back is by taking real time off. And having a family now, I find that very effective to build up my motivation to be productive throughout the week. So I think hustle culture has convinced us that we can neglect relationships now and make them up later. And I have to be honest, I haven't heard anyone that said they worked for 10 years and the people that they had in their life were still there after 10 years. So it's a very important lesson in my opinion. Then for today, I actually came back home, prepped some food for this week so that I can spend more time working and less time making meals and all of those things, so that I can be a bit more effective. And then for today, I actually listened to a video from Ali Abdul. I think it's Abdul. I'm not sure how to create content in 2026, because how to create content in 2026 if I had to start over is the name. And some of my favorite takeaways was study your competitors. Don't copy them. The reality is you can always take inspiration from people, but copying them outright isn't necessarily a good thing. Copying can only take you so far. So start with what you're already working with, meaning the content that you're currently doing. Just make sure it's a bit more authentic in the sense of you taking inspiration from it. Next one is that content compounds. And I couldn't agree more with that, because the more content you put out, the more chances are people are going to find you and they're going to like what they see. And then they go back onto your page and they go watch a lot of pieces of your content and get a real feel for you. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about, is if you've been doing this for quite a while, people have a track record to go back to and to judge you off of that. Not necessarily in a bad way, but in a good way, because as soon as they reach out to you the first time, it feels like they already know you, although you don't know them. So that's something that I really liked. And then next up is enjoy the process. That's something that I've been really resonating with as well the last couple of years with content, is that I really enjoy making pieces of content like this, where I try to inform people a bit more, educate them, and help them grow sustainable ways in creating more content. Or if they don't want to do this whatsoever or have no idea how to do it, what I usually then do is I come in and I offer you my social media and content creation service. So and then lastly, a last lesson that I really thought was nice was the don't let AI replace your voice. I think AI should be a tool that you use to create content. Kind of just organize your thoughts and make sure that you're saying it in a structured manner, that it's actually relevant to your viewer. Because unfortunately, the recipe for content to go viral, there is a set way, and AI can definitely help you do that a lot more effectively. And then a bonus tip, if you run an agency, is that don't try to reinvent content every week. Find creators in your niche and study their work, and then make it your own. So that's all it is for today. For today, I am going to take a nap now after this because rest is important. And then tonight, I'm going to set up all of the ads for all of the businesses to start running first thing tomorrow morning. So hopefully we get a couple of leads, because what I found is if you run ads from, let's say, 5 o'clock in the morning, when people wake up, they're quite motivated after the weekend, and the chances are they'll reach out when they see your ads. And so I'm going to make sure tonight to schedule everything, make sure that all of the text and copy and everything is ready to go. And then this week I've got a couple of goals. I won't give everything out now, but I'll explain as the week goes on. But for this week, I'm actually wanting to do a podcast with Nika. Maybe we can talk a bit more about the clients that we're working with the frameworks that we're using, the ways we approach content, and how we do it differently compared to everyone else, and what are some of our systems that we do to make sure that we are not necessarily working in circles but building up forward. So yeah, that's super cool. And then one thing I learned from this weekend's time off, making sure that I'm actually resetting and prepping for the week ahead, is that building a business is a marathon. And I'm trying to build a business that supports my family, not takes me away from them. And I know it's contradicting with what everyone else is saying online, but trust me, if you have your family in your corner, it's going to work out to your benefit in the long run. And what I found from being in business now for quite a while and only having a 1-year-old, but it's super nice to talk to people about your family and your friends, and the way you talk about them determines a lot of the times how some people perceive you, and that perception is very important, so don't take that for granted. So today we didn't necessarily sign up any new clients or take in any new leads, but I'm prepping for this week to make sure that we are going in the right direction, and hopefully we'll move one step closer to that $10,000 mark a month. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and remember, never stop learning.